to my channel. Today I am so excited about this new collection from Nars. If you guys have been with me for a while, you guys know that I am obsessed with the shade Orgasm from Nars. I have the blush, I have the lipstick, and now they have launched a bunch of new stuff in that shade and I am obsessed. So first things first, the star of the show, this is the Nars Orgasm blush palette. So this is a cream blush palette. There are 6 shades in this palette, you guys, 6. And I'm living for this cream blush. It looks like 2019 is the year for all of the cream blushes. As you guys know, Natasha Denona launched the Bloom Blush and Glow palette, which I'm obsessed with. So when I seen that this was all 6 glowy shades, I was in love, immediately in love, and I definitely let you guys know how it compares to this one for those of you out there that have this one or you're considering now which one do I buy. So I will definitely give you guys my opinion on both of these. So this palette, it is a limited edition cream blush palette and it retails for $49 and it's currently available on the Sephora and Nars website. I've always loved cream everything. I love cream contour. I don't contour with powders only because sometimes I get a little bit too carried away and then it becomes really muddy. So with a cream contour, I can control it. And I feel like with the whole blush, as you guys know, I'm a blush nut. There are way too many cases where I get way too carried away with blush and then I start looking like a clown, okay? It happens to me all the time. So this whole cream blush situation has really been something that I've been loving because it's so soft on the skin, especially for those spring and summer beautiful natural makeup looks. It is a limited edition Orgasm face palette featuring 6 multi-use satin cream shades for eyes, cheeks, and lips to complement all skin tones. This one is the traditional Orgasm shade, which I'm living for. And then this one is the Super Orgasm. So I actually use both of these shades, but of course I swatch everything later on in the video. I also picked up the liquid highlighter. So this is the Orgasm liquid highlighter. This is $30. This is a ultra lightweight highlighting fluid in the universally flattering Orgasm shade. So as you see, you open it up, the lid pops up, and you untwist it and there is the product. It's very, very liquidy, of course. I recommend shaking it really, really good. I have a lot to say about this. Like I said, it retails for $30 and I also picked up the lip tint, which I've had for about a week now. This retails for $26. Okay, throughout this entire video, I was saying that this lip tint was $21. My bad. This is $26 and in my opinion it's not worth a dime over 15. I feel like this is way overpriced. As much as I love it, I think it's a beautiful gloss. I'm wearing it right now. I think it's extremely overpriced. Extremely overpriced for what it is, you guys. So just know that. I talk about that later on, but for some reason I had it in my mind it was 21. It was even worse than I thought it was. This Orgasm Oil Infused Lip Tint is supposed to add a sheer sensation and a surge of hydration for seductively plush looking lips with a hint of tint. Packed with antioxidants, the comfortable gel oil texture glides on smoothly and evenly with a non-greasy feel, which all of that is true. It's just expensive. She is expensive. So that's what we're playing with today. I am so excited about this entire collection. I'm super excited about the cream blush phenomenon that's reached the makeup world in 2019. I'm loving it. I'm living for it. I'm here for it. So without further ado, let's jump right into the video. I'm going to play with all these products and give you guys my opinion, and I will see you guys in my final thoughts. Okay, I am so excited to play with this new product from Nars. I'm obsessed with the packaging. I just have to say it's a beautiful shiny rose gold, which I love. I do have this lippy. I'm gonna put it on. The only thing I don't have anything on my lips, so I'm just gonna show you guys what this looks like without anything on. It's a very, very glossy, and it has a nice pink undertone to it. So, you know, it's not very opaque, it's not super pigmented, but it's just a nice like flush of a little bit of something on the lip. Although I think the packaging is super adorable, and I do love the color of it. I don't feel like it's gumpy. It's not like a uncomfortable gloss. It doesn't like ball up, you know, in the corners of your mouth or anything like that. It's very, very comfortable. It's just overpriced. All right, so let's move on to this. Oh my gosh, this packaging is bitchin'. Like, that's the only word that I can use to describe this. This packaging is bitchin'. So as you can see, it kind of bubbles up. Can you see that? How it bubbles up? The packaging is out of this world amazing. The thing I already love about it is that it gives you that mirrored look. It has this like plastic piece over top of it that protects it from fingerprints. So, okay, so I wanted to get a zoomed in shot of this. Look how stinking pretty this palette is. Oh my gosh, seriously. Look how awesome that is. I love the packaging on this. I'm obsessed. So here are the swatches, and it is absolutely beautiful. These shades are really pretty. I mean, they're extremely pretty. Beautiful, beautiful. This right up here is a swatch of the liquid highlighter, and it just is kind of translucent. So you just kind of put it on and then you kind of blend it out, and it definitely blends out. I'm just gonna put some on my hand and I'm gonna blend it out here on camera. But do you see how it kind of, like, where is it? I'm not seeing much intensity with this one. I think this one is just kind of a very natural glow. I'm not really seeing a glow on this, you guys. I'm kind of curious about what this product is. I don't really know what that product is, but it sure doesn't really look like much, does it? Kind of weird. Just one drop of Skin Perfecting Orgasm Liquid Highlighter is enough to create an effortless, dewy, and natural glow to complement all skin tones. The versatile formula can be worn alone on the face or body, as well as mixed into foundation or moisturizer for a subtle glow. So that makes more sense. It's when it says natural glow, that means it's not going to be like super shimmery. It's not going to have a lot of intensity to it. And this definitely doesn't have a lot of intensity. If you guys have the Natasha Denona Bloom palette, you guys know that the two shades up here are a cream formula. This cream formula is a little bit more tackier, so that when you rub your finger through it, it's definitely got some tackiness to it, more so than the Natasha Denona one. So just know that. First, I'm gonna go in with this shade, which is the one that I'm drawn to the most. I'm gonna use my dual fiber brush, which is what I use to apply the cream product from Natasha Denona in the blush palette. So this is a dual fiber brush from Luxie. This is the 516. This is definitely my preferred way of applying a product like this. So I'm gonna go into this shade right here. That's just kind of a light layer. The fiber brush kind of gives you control where you can kind of blend it in. It's not as pigmented as this shade in Natasha Denona. So this shade right here in this blush palette was exceptionally bold and very pigmented. So you always wanted to go in with a light hand. In fact, I always recommend to stick my brush down into the palette, tap it off on my hand, and then go in. This product isn't like that. This product is a little bit more controlled as far as kind of just how you're applying it. For the sake of the video, I want to try it with a sponge. So I'm going to grab a sponge here, and I've got some picked up, and I'm just going to kind of, maybe the best way to apply this is with the finger. It's kind of tacky, so it's kind of hard to pick it up. Yeah, it's looking like the best way to apply this is with a finger. Let's go in and put a little bit of this one in the middle right over top. The thing that I like about this is it's very buildable, and you can kind of customize it to add a little bit where you want it. I don't really have any problems with it like lifting up my foundation or anything. I'm actually wearing a CC cream that I am reviewing right now, so full disclosure, that's what I have on my face right now. I do want to put maybe a little bit of this one right here, this kind of like a cream highlighter, let's put a little bit of that like right up here. I might have to use like a highlighter brush. Maybe the dual fiber brush just isn't picking up the product quite like I need it to. Let's try a highlighter brush and let's just like put it like right here on my Cupid's bow or something. This is a very soft, subtle, natural highlighter. Now I'm just kind of going with my finger and kind of dabbing it. This is a type of product that is very finger friendly. All right, let's go on this side. And I'm gonna take a blush brush, make sure it's clean. So I've got just a regular blush brush. This is the Morphe E4. Let's go into this like middle shade down here. See what that looks like. Ooh, that's pretty. It's almost like the dense brush actually applies it a little bit better and a little bit more natural than the dual fiber brush. That just melts into the skin. I think I like it better with a regular blush brush. It was almost like with the other brush, I felt like I had to keep going in and kind of picking more up. With a blush brush, it's like dense enough and packed enough where it can like really pick up the product. That looks so natural and so beautiful. All right, let's put a little bit of that highlighter up here on. I definitely like that cream highlighter with my finger. It's like, it's so light and beautiful. It's a soft, subtle highlight though. So for those of you out there that like a little bit more pigment in your highlighter, I don't know that this is going to like wow you. Let's try some of these on the eye and just see what they will look like as eyeshadows. I'm gonna go into this dark one right down here. It almost has like a bronzy undertone. So I thought maybe I would try to kind of put that in the crease a little bit. Now with the Natasha Denona, I did the exact same thing when I reviewed her palette. I tried to use it as eyeshadow as well. And you do have to build it. Like this one is not as pigmented as the Natasha Denona. Like, I mean, this is going in 3 times and I don't know where the pigment is. Maybe I'm not using the right brush. Let's try this type of a brush. Maybe this just is not meant to be applied with a brush because I'm not getting any pigment. Let's put this all over the lid. I'm just gonna go in straight with my finger. These can be used on the eye, but I feel like the best way to apply these is with your finger, and you're just gonna get just kind of a flush of glitter in your eyelid. Like it's really not that pigmented on the eye. So now I just dipped my finger into this shade right here, and I'm just kind of trying to see if I can build up pigment. That one has a little bit more opacity to it. Like it kind of wants to build a little bit better in the crease. Now, honestly, if I was going to be doing my makeup with this, I probably would have put my bronzer in the crease and kind of built that up and then maybe put this over top of it. But I wanted to put this on alone just so that we could kind of see what it would do. For those of you out there that have artificial nails or have longer nails than I do, you're gonna struggle putting these on because they're not meant to be applied with a brush. So for those of you that have artificial nails, you already know how hard it is to put stuff like this on your eyes. So just really think about that if this is a palette that you're wanting for your eyes and your face. Let's go into a little bit of bronzer. I'm gonna grab the Laguna bronzer. I have a smaller one here. I have a big one, but I haven't opened it yet because I still have this small one. So I'm just gonna grab a little bit of this and just lightly kind of place it right there in the crease just to give it a little bit of dimension. Yeah, like it needed that, didn't it? Like you can see it starting to kind of define the eye. Chick-fil-A lemonade. I'm living. I'm obsessed. I'm gonna go into this shade right here. I'm gonna place a little bit of that on my inner corner and see what that will look like. Oh, I like that. It's kind of just natural. Yeah, it's really natural and really pretty. Kind of brightens up that inner corner. Okay, so it does crease on the eye. I'll pull you guys in so you guys can see. And you see how it's creasing right here? So it is creasing, so just know that. Okay, as far as the liquid shimmer, when you twist it, this thing pops up kind of like Jeffree Star's. I really thought this was going to be so much more shimmery. Is that a word? It is a word, right? What is that? That doesn't do much. And I will be honest, I think this is going to be prettier. I think this shade will be prettiest on people who have a deeper complexion. I don't know how it's gonna look on fair skin or even light medium skin. Mine, it's kind of just like a pinky subtle glow, but maybe let's put some right here on the cheek. What I will say about this though is that it kind of melts into the skin really nicely. So it doesn't like lift up any product what's underneath it. It almost is like an amplifier. So just think of it like that. It's not going to give you the intensity of a traditional highlighter. This, in my opinion, just intensifies it just a little bit. Whatever's on your face, it's going to intensify it. I went ahead and reapplied the lippy, but do you see how much more pink it is when you reapply it? So it definitely gets more and more pink as you build this lippy. Which I'm not mad at. I just wish it lasted longer. I think that's the thing that I wish it did. Okay. Let's get into my opinion on this product and give you guys my final thoughts. I love this palette, and for $50, I'm really surprised that this palette is $50 because it's Nars. As we all know, Nars is pretty expensive. Like, their eyeshadow palettes and stuff are pretty pricey. So I think this is a great price for this product, and I feel like if you are into cream blushes, I think you'll love the palette. Do I think this palette is for everyone? No. And I think that, okay, there's two parts to this. If you have the Natasha Denona Blush and Bloom palette, what am I talking about? If you have the Natasha Denona Bloom Blush and Glow palette, these two are much more pigmented than what's in the Nars. Sometimes it gets a little bit overwhelming, and so you kind of have to go in with a light hand. If you have the Natasha Denona palette, do you need this one? Probably not necessarily. However, if you've been wanting to get the Natasha Denona palette, but you've been worried about that really bold color right up here, you know, this one that's like really bold, I think you'll really enjoy this one. I'm really surprised by this. I am surprised at just how beautiful this is. And like I said, I'm getting into the whole, you know, cream blushes, and this is stunning. I'm pretty impressed with this. I think it's very soft on the face, and as you notice through the camera, this looks just very natural. I did not mention in my tutorial that before I came on camera, the only powder that I had on my face was this from Charlotte Tilbury. So I had powdered my entire face because right now I am reviewing a CC cream, which is extra greasy. So I had to put quite a bit of this airbrush flawless finish over top before I came on camera so that it wasn't like a grease ball mess. It was forgiving when it came to that particular powder, but if you guys use that powder, you know that that is a very like finely milled powder, and I cream contour over that powder. So that's not really a powder that you can say, oh yeah, for sure, this is gonna work over powder. I don't know that I can say that just because that powder in particular works good with a lot of cream products that I have that I put over top of it. So just know that. I don't know that this is a product that you're gonna really be able to bake and then go over top. I'm not sure about that. I do know the Natasha Denona. I've heard so many people that bake and do setting powders have had great luck with this over top of powders. But for this one, because I don't use a lot of setting powders and I don't use baking powders, and you know, I don't really buff a lot of powders on the face, I can't say for sure whether this is pretty over powder. So just know that those of you out there that have oily skin, you guys already have that natural shimmering glowing skin. I don't know that this is going to be like something that you absolutely need. You know what I mean? If you had like a nice shimmering powder blush that you could throw on the cheek and you're not setting it, you're probably gonna get the same effect. I don't know. I'm gonna leave that up to you guys. It depends on if you have oily skin and you love cream blush. That's what it's gonna boil down to. If you're oily skin and you've never tried cream blush, that's something to consider. So just know that. All right, I'm gonna grab this shade right here. This might be about the only shade that would be similar to this one in the Natasha Denona. So they're very similar in shade. This one is the Nars, this one is the Natasha Denona. And as you can see, this one from Nars, they're all much more highlighty. You know, they got that shimmering effect. So again, this is the Natasha Denona. I wouldn't say that there's any similarities as far as the shade goes. I think that they're both unique palettes in their own way. I love this. For $49, I love this. Oh my gosh, I'm going to be using this so much during the summer. I just know that this is something that I feel like is perfect for all the cream stuff that I've been having so much fun with. And for me, I feel like the cream contour, the cream blush, the cream highlighters, everything just looks very fresh for the summer. And I think I'm gonna love it just as much as I do the Natasha Denona Bloom palette. If I had to pick which one, I might say this one only because this shade right here in the Natasha Denona palette, I don't use. I love this. This is freaking hella pretty, okay? These two are powders. This one is really a little bit too dark for my skin tone. So that's, you know, out of the 4 shades in here, that's the one I don't use. But I have a feeling I'm going to use every shade in this, because even this shade that looks a little wonky is absolutely stunning. So I love this, you guys. Hands down, I love it. This I wouldn't waste my money on. And maybe I'm using it wrong. You know, this is definitely a first impressions. I will continue to play with this and see if there's a way for me to get this to work. But just know that this product is for that person that likes a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of shimmer. Just a tiny little bit. And it just adds, it, like I said, it will emphasize your highlighter. It's not going to be enough to give you that highlighted look. It's a nice liquid highlighter to add a little bit more intense. If you are wanting to buy this palette to use it on your eyes and your cheeks, you could probably do it, but I am creasing like hella bad. And by the way, I did have my P. Louise eyeshadow base down before I put this on. The P. Louise eyeshadow base is extremely durable. I will try it with the MAC Paint Pot and see if maybe the MAC Paint Pot might stop it from creasing. This is, in my opinion, definitely for the face. One of my favorite things to do when I'm doing a makeup look, if I don't have the right lippy, I will take the eyeshadow, whatever eyeshadow I have on my lid, and I will take my finger and pop it on my lipstick, and it just brings it all together. So I want to try that with this. This claims to be for the face, the eyes, and the lips. So I'm going to take my finger, I'm going to go into that shade. That's so pretty. So pretty. Oh my gosh, so pretty. And this color right here is beautiful as a highlighter. The way that it melted into my Cupid's bow, absolutely beautiful. Like, I know I'm sidetracked. Like, I'm all over the place because I love this palette. So I'm going to continue to play with it. First impressions, this gets my 5 out of 5 stamp of approval. Also remember, this is a limited edition palette. So I don't know how long you're going to have it. You just never know when it comes to limited edition. Limited edition could be whatever. That's my opinion on this collection. I am super excited about this palette though. You guys are going to see me use this quite a bit in the upcoming months. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you guys again for all the love that you guys show me and this channel. It truly means the world to me. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day filled with love and happiness. I will see you guys right back here tomorrow at 11 a.m. And I love you all so much. Bye.